Out of nowhere, I got so tired for nothing, then I had fever.
Did you know having fever is not a huge problem? You have fever because your organism has an infection, so your immune system is trying to fight the infection. So that's why your body feels so hot.
I even got abdominal pain. It hurt so bad. Then the worst part came, it was nausea and vomiting. You know, when you drink too much alcohol and then you puke. Yeah, that was me, constantly, but without alcohol. Even got to the point where I was trying to puke and nothing came out. Yeah, that was the worst. One time, I got out of the bed to go to the bathroom so I could puke. After that, I went back to my room. Guess what happened? I blacked out. Yeah, I collapsed. Yo, that's some crazy shit. I thought I was gonna die. My dad was in the kitchen and I remembered him saying, "Hey, what's going on?" But he didn't even come out and take a look. But I still love him. This other time I was resting in bed, my body was so hot that I think my bedsheet was all covered in sweat. But the craziest fact about that is that I started to shake. Like literally shaking. And I had to fall asleep so I could stop shaking. Man, that was crazy. We went to see a doctor. He said I was having an appendicitis.
This is the inflammation of the appendix. It's a tube of tissue that extends from the large intestine.
If you want to know if you're having one too, the most common symptoms are fever, nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite. But the first sign is pain in the upper abdomen to the lower right abdomen. Right after that, we took the subway to the hospital because we didn't have a car. I was aware I was in public, but I couldn't hide my suffering. I had to walk like that and sit like that, but I didn't care. I was suffering so bad. It was the worst ride ever. Right after the surgery, they took me to the elevator. They had injected some medicine so I could sleep and not feel anything during the surgery. The after effect of that was that I was feeling high. So in the elevator, I said to my mom, "Mom, why did you bring me outside? The clouds are so beautiful." But in reality, the ceiling was covered with a representation of clouds. So that was funny, but a little bit shameful. It was later that I knew my appendix had perforated and had been surrounded by pus. That's really nasty. That led to peritonitis. What the hell is that word? Peritonitis. Hold on. Peritonitis. Yeah, that was the word.
This is an inflammation of the peritoneum, the tissue of the inner abdomen.
So, the nurse told me that it could take up to a month to leave the hospital. And I was like, damn, a month? I was in a room with 4 beds. Just to let you know, I was 16 years old at that time. So I was in the hospital for kids. So during 1 month in the hospital, I was with a couple of roommates. There was a baby that was so calm. She didn't even cry a bit. But then there was this girl. She was nice, but she was so annoying. Oh my god. I must say that it wasn't her fault. Like having a surgery and spending time in the hospital being sick as a kid is not the best thing ever. She had to do blood tests frequently, and I guess she was scared of needle. So I don't mind that part because you're scared of that. But she was screaming and crying like a demon. One time she was screaming so loudly that I had to put on my headphones and it wasn't even connected to anything. I just wanted to make them believe that I wasn't hearing them. But hey, you were a kind person. And I hope you're healthy now. I had a nasogastric intubation, a tube placed through my nose into my stomach. Why did you have that? Ew. Well, they had applied suction to the tube to remove stomach contents, and by having that tube, I couldn't eat anything. So I got so skinny after that. That doesn't mean you should be relieved because you're going to lose weight if you have an appendicitis. But the weirdest thing about that tube inside of my body is that I was able to see the tube when I opened my mouth. And just thinking that there's something inside me is crazy. Also, they had to remove it because I'm not going to keep it all my life. Duh. So, they told me after removing the tube, I could start eating again. I was so happy because it had been almost 1 month without eating. Then the doctor came to remove it. He took a part of the tube and told me, "Do not breathe while I'm pulling it." He counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. And just put it out like a spaghetti stuck inside my nose. But the feeling was insane. Like, for real? Guys, close your eyes and think about a tube from the stomach being pulled out through your nose. Disgusting. After removing it, I got myself a cup of water. Man, that sip of water was like the last drop of water in the world to me. It was delicious. Then I got to start eating with yogurt, jello, bread, cookies, and ice cream. Oh man, after that taste of water, these foods were like pizza and fries to me.
Ooh, damn son.
I want to shout out my parents. They were there for me every day. They were spending nights with me to keep me company, and of course, they stayed with me because they were worried too. So shout out to them. Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. At last, I missed the whole month of school because of that problem, but I didn't care about that. Let's get real. What would you choose between staying in bed, watching movies and sleeping, or studying, doing homeworks, and being at school for about 8 hours a day? Well, that was my story. Hope you enjoyed it.